What's up, gamers? How's it going?
What's
Fudge.
poppin'? Let's go.
How are you right now? Give me the update.
I'm a little, hey, me and Yoshi, we were up last night. We were balling out. We're as you do,
As you
celebration
do.
party for
A big
go
day.
our big win. Goat, if not as well known,
That
Z Yoshi, Goat's esports substitute player. But
that's
we're not
me.
going to be watching Goat's esports right now. We're going to be watching 2 games of Orbits in a row. So Orbits fans, get in here now. Everyone
Rise
get in
up.
here. Because we're going Orbits
We're
versus
going all the
Core
way.
Overflow. We're going all well, first of all, we're going all the way.
We're going all the way. Let's be
let's
clear.
let's be clear. And then you fade into like nothing, like in the TikToks, right? Let's
Just
be
like in the
clear.
TikToks.
Yeah. But and then we're seeing Orbits versus Raw. So we're seeing Core Overflow and Demons Raw. Both I'll just say top 4 projected teams. And Orbits kind of a question mark right now. They've had to play some pretty good teams. They are currently like the only win that Chatting has gotten so far, but Chatting is obviously a good team. Like they have performed very well in weeklies, and you can say weeklies don't matter, but
They have
I like to
performed very
think,
well in them.
yeah, people are trying. I don't think people are throwing every single game in their weeklies. Maybe a few, but you have to be pretty good to show the consistent results Chatting have been getting. So really, Orbits just have had a pretty tough schedule, and it's should really be getting easier after this week, which is the bright side for Orbits. But today is not that day.
Today is not that day.
Indeed.
And here we're loading into game. Getting ready.
Go.
This is a big game. These are two big teams, and I think Orbits again are gonna win. Easy sweep, but could do with picking up a big dub, you know?
And we see Slop playing for the side of Core Overflow. So
yep, we see Era will not be playing today on Gates of Obscura.
Yeah, Era,
none of that
very
will be
strong
coming
character. I really like playing Era on this map because you send your ult down into the abyss and it just gets in there. And so they're banning the Luna, which I do think Luna. I've not played against many Lunas on this map, but I do see why it's strong because it's a very open map. You have many ways of getting in there and causing a lot of forward pressure. And Slop is just really, kind of a little bit of a known Luna goalie player, but instead playing Atlas instead, who one of the creation goalies, any of the creation goalies, just really good on this map.
Right. In the emergency, my character's been banned. Time to play Atlas moment. You know how it is.
As you see the Ashers being matched, which makes a lot of sense. Asher also really strong this match, and we see a bit of a surprising pick for me as we see the Juno pop out for hook resets, and Spencer, who is currently going to be goalie this week for Orbits, is playing the Imi. So look at immediately Spencer popping out with a huge amount of forward pressure, using all the Imi abilities to win kickoff really strong there. And Lumos tries to finish off, but it's immediately traded. Getting this first barrier on this map ends up being like usually pretty easy. And the game also just like kind of devolves into moments like that where they're all stacked on the barrier, triple goaling. But it doesn't really matter if you just can get one strike war into somewhere that's not in that corner. Although the corner usually is the best way to get those goal barriers. Core Overflow showing there's other ways to do it. Elo Heaven, I think using the portals pretty well there. With their teammates able to send that barrage right into the bottom.
Yeah, cut it. Was going straight to Spencer, but the classic barrage it in the corner. He just slipped it in, no questions asked.
Yeah, and here we go. Send it back into the corner. Airships, the creation meets the creation, and it kind of resets
unstoppable
there.
Force versus immovable object.
It truly is. It truly is in the battle of creation forward versus goalie. But this is a lot of pressure here. The flip and the turret able to come out to get something. And now Lumos has to try and relieve some pressure of this flip and put some pressure of their own. But now they're just trying to deal with Leo Leon. It's really scary when Asher is standing next to the portal, because there's just any random pass can just end up being the end of the game, especially with I-Me goalie, because the matchup is really good for Asher once you get into melee range. But Lumos able to find that last barrier, and Hook Reset's having flip, but they finally get that KO at the cost of another goal though. 2-0.
Hey, that's a scaling mentality. Get some EXP now, win the game later.
It's true. That's true. You get that KO. And Hook Resets has that flip. I mean, Slop also has a flip, and Elo Heaven's about to get one of their own. But
hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get the KO now, win the game later.
Hey, we'll see how that pans out. Oh wow, weird. I'm not sure what happened in that interaction, but somehow Core is able to touch the final barrier, leaving them open, and it's 2 barriers to 1. This is pretty dominant so far from Core Overflow. Now just Elo Heaven and Leo Leon, they've been playing a lot through the portals right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how Orbits adapt to this. But Spencer able to use his I-Me damage to get another KO, this time not losing the goal for it. If they can use this power play to get both barriers as they're currently doing and get a score here, then their game plan is looking pretty good. Spencer just barely misses the Cyrus swipe to save that one, but this is kind of what you have to be able to deal with when you're playing I-Me, when you don't have as many defensive options.
Yeah, very close to saving it. I believe it was Elo Heaven's Giga Blast through the portal that put that in. Great shot. I don't think anyone was expecting that to go in. So very understandable why that happened. We see Slot picking up Catalyst. A newly nerfed Catalyst, but
yeah, especially on this map when people tend to bunch up so much, Catalyst ends up getting a lot of good use. The Monumentalist going to Juno probably makes sense. I don't really know what Juno takes. That's pretty lost there.
Hey, big slimes. Big slimes hurt.
But Lumos grabbing this prize fighter. If they stick to their game plan of just killing Leo Leon, if they can stack up some prize fighter stacks, then it could work out pretty well. But it won't work out pretty well if they immediately lose gold, get both barriers, and then Leo Leon almost gets immediately dimed up after. Oh, Slop almost able to defend that, but Hook Resets, with the help of their team, is able to make a great play there and eventually pass it through to Lumos using the portal play very well. It's just when you have this a quarter portal start, it gets so much harder as it does get so much harder as a goalie to play, but you also opens up a new clearing angle for you where you can hit it more backwards into your own side's portal, which will often not be covered. So that's the upside, but the downside is, especially after goal barriers are gone, it's like how can defend?
Right, it's so vulnerable. You have to work so much harder to keep your goal safe.
You can't be having soft hands when the
no soft hands allowed.
No soft hands allowed. Leon getting to read early on that portal, but not early enough to catch it. But they're still able to mount an offensive. Lumos now has flip, trying to move in, use the airship to get a bonus. A great flip to block that primary from Slop and just sends it right into the bottom.
And something I want to note that I just noticed, first of all, peak performance hotshot start. We love hotshot start. Woo. And also, Slop took a jack button.
Yeah, Slop did take a jack button. And if there's a map to do it, it's this one. It's
this one.
Like you're gonna be
Atlas, though.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting hit so much that it's really actually I'm like, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm believing in it, because I know some people have been doing this. Ooh, good save from Spencer,
great save.
And it gets the barrier. This is also 2-0 right now. They are quickly changed pace. Orbits are looking like a whole new team in the second set, but Slop of this eject.
Oh my God, cook it up, Elo Heaven.
Yeah, what a great Giga.
A Giga goat sighting out in the wild.
I'm just still thinking about this Slop eject button, because it is just the cooldown reduction was just buffed to 30%, and that's your most important cooldown for defending his barriers, because it is so good for defending this corner. You can see he tried to throw it out there, but it ended up not being needed, but it made sense to throw it out because if anything gets through there and it hits that, then you are not losing a barrier for a solid, like, it's not 5 seconds, it's way less, but it feels like an eternity sometimes as a forward waiting for this secondary to come off. And Elo haven't able to get I think a Giga Blast KO there, but Lumos trading and getting a prize fighter second turn, and now has Flip, isn't quite able to get a score off of it, but able to find that bottom corner. Slop tries to throw, I think tries to run up in secondary so that he can try to run down and defend both, but just doesn't have that time. And with no momentum boots to catch up, that's showing one of the downsides of having an eject button is that you're going to have a little bit more trouble once your goal barrier is open.
Yeah, and hey, Orbits have tied up the sets. Orbits believers, rise up. This is the moment. Here's where they sweep.
This is where they win.
This is where they win.
Yeah,
extra special Manu Juno. Hot shot. Oh my god, wait. Think about that for a moment.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to play against, I think. I think these slams are gonna be hitting hard on the core and honestly the enemy players too, because that Juno damage, though it's not something that is like usually heavily considered when you have a Juno in the game, is gonna like look at how low, even with I think there was a Atlas ult there. It ended up being. It doesn't matter though, because they're able to just win before any of them can take a significant amount of damage. And I think one of the honestly a problem with this Juno is that you don't have as much pushing power when trying to push them out of the corner as Kai does. Kai and Asher, you can just play these characters goalie. And although some people will play Juno goalie I would say to great success. I don't think on this map it's going to be as strong because you just don't have the same clearing power.
I agree. And here we see Elo Heaven running in. We do a little bit of portal play here. Getting locked, but Lumos has Flip. Things are looking a little dicey for Core Overflow right now.
Yeah, able to get the secondary off, but Slop still has the Flip, and with the cooldown reduction, might have secondary coming up soon. So they would like to make a play as soon as possible. A bit of a small blunder from hook resets there, but they're going to be able to move it up anyway. Lumos, kind of a little bit of a Kaz. Not able to get that shot. Leo Leon has nothing open though, and they try to make a passing play, but this course moving really fast, which makes it really actually a bit harder to get Kai Barrage down sometimes onto the enemy goalie. And Lumos everyone's back online. Spencer moving up, trying to make some offensive plays with these abilities, while everyone else holds down the fort. A lot of kind of stun locks happening, but Leo Leon able to finally get a 1v1 with the goalie, and Spencer used those abilities earlier to push the core up, so it doesn't have anything to defend with.
Yeah, wow, there were a lot of people going in portals and things being on different sides of the field at once.
Yep. Go. A lot of things happening.
Well, a lot of things happening. My little ape brain is lighting up wonderfully looking at this map.
Honestly, like playing through goalie through these portals. Oh wow! Elo Evan just walks it in. Leo Leon just covering the entire top side. It's just, and Leo Evan had flipped the boot if needed, but wasn't even necessary. And another 3-0, or I think that's another 3. It might be the first one, but last set was looking pretty dominant in Orbit's favor.
And Orbit's flavor.
And Orbit's flavor.
Buy it now.
Probably like, what color? What are their team colors? The Timeless Creator.
Sometimes blue, sometimes red. I think blue.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like kind of like a Neapolitan type vibe. But Asher getting this Timeless Creator, I think it might be looked at more as a deny, but I really see it more as just it's real strong on this map, especially. Not only is it just really strong on Asher, but every time this Asher moves up, Lumos just gets a KO, and that's a prize fighter stack also. Every time.
Yeah, that's big.
Leo Leon's able to throw the ult down in the corner, it is going to get probably at least one goal barrier, especially against this Aimee, unless Aimee has turret or something to counter it, or Lumos has one of their own. Leo Leon was in a very scary spot for Orbits, but they're able to defend, and good cyber swipe to clear it out, but with these portals and with how much open space there is, they're just going to get another opportunity to attack. So we're going to have to see some way for Orbits to find a clear out, but instead, and one, able to shoot that one before a KO comes through, and another goal. Once again, just getting the goals before the KOs can happen. Lumos not getting a prize fighter stack for that KO either, so, but will get one for that one. So now Lumos at max prize fighter stacks. This could be the win condition they need to win this game, is to just be able to deal enough damage to deal with these guys. Slop has no evasive right now, no energy. If they can deal enough damage to him to probably even go through the ult, then things could be looking pretty good right now for this Orbits roster.
Right here, Hook has flipped. Well, so does Lumos, pops it, tries to get the barrier. And here we see Hook kind of sitting on Leo Leon as Lumos gets that barrier. Orbits drops one, still has another, so... And they are killing incredibly well.
Oh, Cyberstep almost catches that, which would put him in a really bad spot. But wow, the airship comes through. Path Splitter able to take out just on its own. Hook resets, and now the flip is in for Leo Leon. Passes it into the barrage, and Spencer is not able to clear it. And this could be map point already. This has been a very speedy game.
Yeah, Orbits fans, grab onto the edge of your seat. This one's going to be close. They're going to be looking for a big comeback right now. And that's where it starts.
Showing off the power. Once again, I'll keep saying it. 3 prize fighter stacks in this game. This is definitely a comebackable round. If you're going to reverse sweep, well, that's not how you start it. But almost able to clear it out. They finally make it through like so many strikes, but gets right through. Since they're not able to eject back and strike in time, and that is map 1. And although 3-1, a pretty speedy one at that to core overflow.
Yeah, Gates of Obscura usually running quick, and their Leo Leon just pushed it in. Asher willed it in with her magic powers. A 14-minute game.
14 minutes. That might be the shortest 3-1 game I've ever seen. Like I've seen like plenty of like 14-ish minute 3-set games, but I don't know, maybe it's not that weird, but
yeah,
really,
if you look at the stats, sorry, the damage coming out from Orbits is insane.
Yeah, because they really were playing to that. They're playing with this IME goalie that does a little bit more damage. Lumos really shining, especially with towards the end there, the prize fighter. And Hook resets doing really like not a slouch on that damage either, especially with some of those trainings that they were able to get. But all of them having like more or the same damage as Leo Leon, who ended up doing the most damage for them. But that's just not their win condition when they're playing with this Kai and this Atlas. It's just really just going maximum stuff potential, trying to get through the goalie, and honestly, I'm sure they were pretty happy to play into an IME, since there is just a lot less IME can do to prevent this stuff, rather than a character like Atlas, who can just kind of throw a secondary down and have a lot of strength there. So, something else that's cool about this matchup, Lumos and Slop, ex-teammates from PLI, if I remember correctly. Streak being subbed in to win that with Lumos, but currently is not in this game, but is also a core overflow member. So a little bit of old pals battling it out.
Yeah, a couple of friends hitting the core strike fields, but this time in a different context.
Yeah, as enemies instead of as friends.
As mortal enemies. They hate each other now.
But I always like looking at the matchup between ex-teammates and kind of trying to see if they know anything, if they've noticed things in their own teammates' play that they think they can take advantage of, and things like that. A little bit harder to do against an Atlas. Pretty often it's
tell me the Atlas gameplay variation.
Yeah, you do primary it through them, and then sometimes you make the big circle, And then sometimes you make the big circle that heals people. But
Hey, I'm making a big circle.
yeah,
That's
not
my skill
as
expression.
there's definitely ways to be creative on any character, but
Mm-hmm.
and show uh I guess personality is how I like to put it.
Yeah, like
But
eject button.
yeah, like eject button, and Slop did do that with eject button, to be honest.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was ready to make fun of him, but then you said 30% CDR on his secondary, and I don't know,
yeah,
the light was shown directly in my eyes.
yeah, it's definitely real. I know that Streak played with that against Soon-to-Be Strikers Feet Goalie Waffles in Big Fish Friday, but they lost with that, so I kind of was like disregarding it a bit. So, but it definitely is strong, especially on that map. I think if that is probably, I would guess it as the best map to run this eject button Atlas. But we're seeing the era ban targeting hook resets, and they're very
Right.
well known for their era. And the
And this
Kai
is a
ban
great
coming
era
out
map.
this time. This is a great era map, and they do not want to deal with this Kai again. I'm assuming that's targeting Elo Heaven, but
Yeah, Kai down.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we see another Juno pick or if we see a Dracarmir. I don't know how much hook resets plays Dracar, but Elo Heaven definitely has it online. And Leo Leon loves picking this X when he can. If he sees an opportunity to, he loves to bring it out. This is a great map for X, and if there's a good awakening start for it, then you don't really need an era to help you out. So it can make sense. We are seeing, it looks like a Dracarmir, but other than that, different goalies and brawlers from each side.
Yeah, I think the Dracar is interesting. I'm very excited to see what hook resets can cook up on Dracar.
Extra
but-
special start though, and Chrono
Oh
Boost.
wow, and Chrono Boost. Hi, Leon.
Yeah, Slop is gonna be liking this. Playing Luna with extra special is so nice. You either just get your ult at the start of every round, and it's so high impact, especially if you're able to take out.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, good double donk there. Able to
Yeah,
really
dollar
get
menu
ult
McDoubler.
Dollar menu McDoubler. But once Slop has finally hit level 2, or not finally, but has hit level 2, and it's now going to be able to just be taking elusives off over and over again, and then X is going to be able to fly through it. However, Luna is going to have a little bit more trouble defending when it gets close. Not to say Aimi won't either, but just one shotgun is really all you need to get through most Luna plays. And having to use a dash for a shotgun is a trade that a Dracar would love to make as much as possible. Hook resets running in here. Oh, but no!
Oh
I have done this
no!
before. Slop flips it, but hits it in with his own ultimate. The crater there, because it feels weird because it feels like you can flip to evade it from the crater maker, but instead
That's your move.
that's your move. So it hits it back in, and not quite able to strike it back in time. Maybe it was reacting and just missed it a little late or didn't have strike up, but just a really awkward situation to be in, and tough way to win the first round. But you want to make some mistakes early, it's whatever. But Leon's looking real low right now.
Yeah, hurting just a little bit. Taking a lot of damage coming out from orbits, which, as we saw last game, does seem to be their game plan. Elo Heaven also low. Yeah, staggered even. We can go as far as... It's just kind of struggling. Lumos also low. It's a bit of a bloodbath out here.
Yeah, they're able to get some damage back, especially like Luna and Aimi are both goalies that are going to be trying to deal a lot of damage. Slop going in to get the stun and almost is able to dime it in, but Spencer sends out that flip, able to keep them in this round, and now they have a pretty good attack brewing up on this last barrier. Hook resets does the mix up to get it across, stop shoving, and gets it, which is really good for them because they're able to get that last barrier and even it out. Slop does have flip though, and every time this dash comes online, it's going to be really scary because there's just going to be a flip in the enemy goal box that they have to be ready for at all times. With no Aimi turret up, able to clear it away, which is really important, but it gets really scary as Lumos is really low, but instead Leo Leon is taken out, And Lumos has time to heal up and mount an attack with this power play. Slop does have flip. If they can get that offline, it's going to be really good. But instead, Slop is able to win a 1v1 versus Spencer. The flip is able, I think it stuns Spencer for a second, which is able to actually contributes to that goal being able to go in. But Slop taking advantage of the power play situation where they tend to spread out a little bit more, which gives you sometimes opportunities to go 1v1 against the enemy goalie if you can find them. But already next round, Leo Leon's gone.
Wow. That was vicious. And Orbits here is really pushing. And all three members pushing past the midline, trying to get it. They lose a barrier for their troubles. But Lumos almost puts it in. And suffers a million damage for it.
Yeah, everything's popping out. The flip barely misses and doesn't reach Lumos. But Hook resets.
Wow.
Hits that strike shotgun straight into the bottom left, lock and loading their way into not only a point but a KO as well.
Yeah, double score. Put two things in the net.
Get 2 points for that. Next round. Immediately, just so much damage. And it's
so much
weird.
damage.
Sometimes it feels weird to look at these comps and think like, oh, this is going to be a damagey game. But it's really... Like I've said this before, but when you're running these goalies, the game will get really damagey really, really quickly. And Lumos able to finish off that KO, and Spencer mounting an assault with this turret, and just both ultis come out, both creation ultis coming out from this team, while Elo Heaven gets a KO of their own onto Hook resets, and now is a power play going in the other direction, and both goal barriers down for Orbits. If they can finish this off, they're back in it for the set. But Hook resets is back online, moving up, trying to find something. Lumos trying to dribble through, trying to get something, use some cooldown to get through into the enemy goal box. And they finally find it. They can keep it up and force Slop to use this flip. They're one step closer to finding a goal. But Leo Leon has the Chrono Boost dash to get in, and 2 flips are online. Leo Leon is 100% ready for that pass, and ready for this one as well, as he scores one in, bringing us 2-2 into our first set.
Yeah, what a sick pass. That ball went straight to Leo Leon's hands, and all he had to do was left click literally anywhere on the right side of his screen.
Sometimes you just gotta punch it in.
Sometimes you just gotta punch it in. Oh my god. And Lumos and Hook are just mowing down Slop right now. Only got one barrier for it, but what a vicious forward push.
Yeah, it was looking pretty tough, but this is one of the reasons with I.Me and with Luna goalie, Drakkar midfield is really good, because you just kind of have a second goalie that can just send these shotguns out and do a lot, but the KO comes through, and Spencer could be up next.
Yeah, no energy.
Yeah, we're seeing a goalie swap situation here, because you kind of need to, because Slop cannot, Spencer cannot stay in this goal, but ends up getting KO'd either way. And now they have to, forwards are in the net. Hook resets and Lumos playing characters that can defend this barrier better than, I would say, characters like X, for example. But they end up able to protect this barrier, and we're back to 3-on-3. Spencer, though, getting bullied by Leo Leon. Getting heavily bullied, not staying very low. Does have an evade left, but it is very similar to a power play, unless it's going to be really hard for Spencer to get in those positions to defend, but Spencer is able to defend his last barrier, but not for long. And now Lumos is going to need to try to get a trade here quickly. But Slop able to come in with the flip and dash into the flip to set up Leo Leon for a score, and they're able to take this first set in a very close fashion.
Yeah, and close fashion indeed. I'm surprised at how close this game is.
And this is what they needed. It turns out they needed to win this round, because Deadeye is up and Luna is receiving it. Their choristers, Twin Drive and Catalyst, which are also really good, but Deadeye is just so important here.
The Slop is doing backflips in his room right now, picking up Deadeye on the first carousel.
Yeah, doing
egoist.
Yeah, doing a Slop flip right now. Luma, yeah, interesting how far it almost felt Catalyst and Egos got in that draft. But there's also, I think it's pretty hard between Monumentalists sometimes. With Monumentalists and just having this huge Asher thing can get really tough, especially when flips are coming out of it. Leo Leon X Lauren all over Spencer, just not really finding ways to survive against this X. It gets really tough. It's especially when you can't take pauldrons, when you're playing against characters like X or Kazan, who are known to Oki or just stand on the enemy goalie a little bit more than other characters. Things can get really tough, but wow, a lot of damage. Able to fall onto Lumos, but able to retreat, get some of that back. Does have the Van Brace, so does Leo Leon. They are matching on that. But Swap able to find that barrier, just run in, and through that barrier able to mount an offensive that ends with Elo Heaven being able to lock and load to get the first goal.
Yeah, unfortunately, the triple goalie did not work, as Leo Leon, trying to score, ends up diming up Elo Heaven, who is a free shot at the pocket.
Hook resets, kind of forced the flip here of this Deadeye crater coming out from Slop, which doesn't really result in too much, but they are able to maintain more semblance of core control from it, and Lumos has the pass splitter and the dash to try to block this flip, but still able to get out. Now trying to find a way out before Asher can find a position to get onto Slop, but Spencer on the other side of the map getting bullied once again by Leo Leon, and is going to have to use some cooldowns a bit differently than maybe they'd like to. And end up losing the second barrier through this X. You can just win these strike wars once you get into close proximity. It's just really hard to win these. Hook resets playing patiently here, playing smart, able to, once again with the same angle, get this barrier. But now Spencer is having to dash up, honestly, just to get away from Leo Leon, who just has flip in front of the enemy goal box, but is stunned, and then the buffer goes through, and somehow, from what looks like one of the most unwinnable scenarios, Orbits are able to take this point.
Right, and hey, that's what Orbits is all about. Orbits fans, it's time. Who cares about Deadeye Luna? Rise up. Oh, Lumos. That was a nuclear missile.
No.
Oh, no.
But,
oh, dear.
We've seen, I'll have to point it out, that is, I believe, the third or fourth own barrier we've seen from this Orbits roster in this match, including the first one. Just a little bit, maybe just a little bit of nerves, maybe just the tight situations, making it really hard to find these clear angles, but probably could be doing a toll mentally on them. It gets real tough when this is happening multiple times and trying to get through this, and Leo Leon taking advantage of that, able to get a score on there, and then it's 2-1, and Cook resets. This has to deal with all of his damage already.
Owie.
Extremely, no. Owie, owie, owie. I need a Band-Aid for that one. Might need a giant, quite a big Band-Aid.
Bring out the big Band-Aid. This one's serious.
Bring out the big Band-Aid. Immediately, right now. Slop dashing up. Honestly, was probably looking for the core as well, but instead is just able to deal that much damage to help them secure that KO on the hook resets from that damage they did earlier in the round. And now Spencer has to try to find a way to clear it with this flip. Everyone's back online now. Leo Leon's the one that's going to be the next target of this attack. Almost gets the KO, but he's able to survive and get this orb with a little bit left. Has his fan brace. If he's able to get in there and deal enough damage, can possibly be able to survive, especially using that evade to dodge the pass splitter. Slop comes in quick, gets a KO on hook resets. Leo Leon no longer staggered, now in a power play situation with one barrier left. They need to equalize this barrier to make this round even, and they do it with this lock and load. Now Leo Leon looking for some way to cook something up to get this point, but instead is being thrown into the wall. The Crater comes out, trying to find some damage, but gets some evades instead, which is still really good. Leo Leon has no evade and is looking really low. Is able to dash out to get to evade the damage and then stun Spencer, which leaves it wide open for Elo Heaven to take set 2, 3-1.
Yeah, big set 2 for Core Overflow. Here we've got some great trainings for these characters out on the board. Castellast will probably not fall to X, but I doubt Spencer or Lumos really want to deny them. We'll see what Lumos does here.
Yeah, it's tough because he still gets perfect form, which is
just
received a buff.
Yeah, hey, they buffed it again. Big,
like
20%.
And when you're playing X and you have heavy impact Chrono Boost, your Chrono Boost is allowing your ult to get more hits on your perfect form, and you're almost always going to be able to get this heavy impact proc. So the cooldowns on Leo Leon are going to be really low right now. That's going to be really scary and not fun to play against if you are this Orbits team.
Yeah, X with 15 moves per second. It turns out it's a little strong. It goes hard.
But this time, it's Orbits that are able to blitz out at the beginning of the round and able to get these barriers and force Elo Heaven into a bad position. And just a really awkward spot, able to get the KO, and they're able to finish it off. And now looking a lot brighter in a round like that, where they're able to get the KO at the beginning of the round. They're able to get both goal barriers at the beginning of the round, able to put in this pressure. Once they get in close, it's really important that Lumos is able to get these barriers, or really any of them are able to. But now getting really bullied by this X. Just waits maybe a bit too long to elusive and ends up really low and staggered. And now, oh, the dash through the wall almost ends up with a KO in the end, but the evade comes on in time at the perfect spot. And Lumos just sitting pretty. But the Molten Bolt immediately comes out after. You have no time to rest, Lumos. Just keep getting hit with all these abilities. Spencer up front with the pass splitter is able to get this barrier. Lumos gets the read, but a little bit too early and doesn't end up getting a goal off of it. But here comes X with the dash.
Wow. A great play. He used a primary to get the barrier, dribbled it off the back wall, and then popped forward flip. Dashed it right in. Very well executed. And he just had all of his moves, by the way.
Yeah, I wonder why this character had all of the moves.
Where did they come from?
Deal damage, but
whoa, where'd that guy go? He got drive-by shot down.
Yep, that's already gone. Lumos had to use flip defensively as well, and all the damage was coming in. Spencer is extremely low right now. He's going to have to use elusive to avoid his X, but the Chrono Boost is up, so it's still just going to be able to punch Spencer out. Somehow he's still alive right now. But it's not going to be able to defend very well against this X, who can just throw out any cooldown against them, and then Spencer is suddenly looking in a terrible spot, able to get this stagger offline, but immediately is hit with two abilities that bring it right back down. Elo Heaven uses the flip to dime up Leo Leon, who is punching them out of the goal box. So able, just a really perfect pass. They've done this twice now, where they get that pass, they go around and behind both of the enemies in the goal box and dime up Leo Leon.
And things are looking tense for Orbits right now. But you know what they say, and the sun always shines brightest in the dawn after the darkest. Good morning, everyone.
What they always say.
That's what they always say.
What they always say.
The dawn will rise after the darkest moments.
This is what they always say, I guess.
I woke up like 40 minutes ago.
I woke up in a new...
I woke up in the dawn when it was shining the least. But hey, things are shining bright for Orbits and getting two barriers here.
I guess you were right. I guess this is what they always... This is why they always say. This is why they always say it. But actually, now Hook Resets and Lumos are looking pretty low. They're mounting offensive on... Oh, but Spencer!
Oh, never doubt me again.
Cyber swipe. I'm never down you again.
Believers.
I'm never
rise up.
Never doubt what everyone says. Just listen to the masses. Become part of the hive mind.
The hive mind will take you to great places. Unlike where Hook Resets was standing, which was right under the crater.
But Hook Resets...
Oh my god.
Taking out Leo Leon, who's taking a lot of damage early, similar to what Hook Resets did, but now they're in completely different positions. Hook Resets looking really healthy and getting a KO instead. Now trying to get past Slop, but Slop is just winning these strike wars extremely well. They're able to stun lock Lumos really hard, which ends up in a KO, and now a power play situation. Slop has flipped, but the dash is no longer online. It's not going to be able to find a way up. Hook Resets can find a 1v1 here. There's still a chance, but instead uses uses defensively. Is trying to get it through the midfield. All barriers are down. These can go either way. Hook Resets looking really low though. Could get KO'd here, but instead it's able to slip through. Slop. Finishing off this one in a 3-0 in sets.
If the signature Slop, Luna flies in. and gets it right past everyone. Right,
Yeah,
so
it's
quick and easy. And that'll be the
interesting.
series.
Yeah, interesting to see. I personally believe that this Luna is going to be stronger for an extra special start on this map than it is going to be on the other one. But still, either way, it's if one Slop's pilot and Luna goalie, it's going to end up being really good. The 88 redirects from Leo Leon with the 40,000 damage, showing true X lore.
Yeah, X lore. Each of those 88 redirects were very important.
If 3C's watching right now, I'm sure he's smiling from heaven.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's rolling over in his grave thinking about Leo Leon playing X. But like in a good way.
But like in a good way. But 5, like, just so little redirects, but still 5 goals. Cause that's just X doing the X job. Is doing this damage. Really, both teams were doing a lot of. They felt like they were getting a lot of KOs and doing a lot of damage. But when you look at the numbers, it's really core overflow. Just with a huge gap in that, and that's what you come to expect from this X pick. At the Chrono Boost start, Leo Leon saying, "Yep, that's good enough. Good enough for me."
Yep. And
I
that's
think
all I
it's
need.
one of the weakest X pages of all time, which is what X gets every single game, with just unlimited cooldowns, and able to bring that through. But it's not over for Orbits. They have another chance to prove themselves against Demons Raw, another top team that is definitely favored to win. But Orbits got their warm-up out. They're ready to come out now.
Right, feeling all warm and toasty. All warm, and the sun is shining brightest within them.
Indeed. Gotta look at the replays again. Just the first time I saw it, I was just thinking like, wow, that was a good heads-up play from Leo Leon and Eel Heaven. But then seeing them do it again, you just like I realized, nah, this
This is
play
what
where
they do.
this is what they do. This is what they're ready for. This is what they know when they pick the X, that they can drag them out of the goal barrier and then do this pass. It's a really good play. It's a really smart play. And they were able to do it twice to get 2 goals. And 2 goals is 2/3 of a set. And 2/3 of a set is like, what is that? It's like, it's like 2/9 of an entire game.
Yeah, and that's quick math.
That's yeah. That's
Yeah,
mathematical, one might say.
mathematical algebra.